ОГЭ. 2022 год. Гудкова-Терентьева. Вариант 1. Тексты для аудирования. Задание 1-4. Text A. Good evening. Here is the 6 o'clock news. Traffic in West London has been growing since this morning, as fans began to arrive for today's football match at Wimbledon Stadium, where the England team is playing with Brazil this afternoon. The police are advising the drivers to avoid the area unless absolutely necessary. Text B. Hi Don, it's Wendy. I'm calling to tell you I won't be able to go hiking with you this weekend. I have to finish my report for the science lesson. My teacher wants to have it ready on Monday. It was clever of you to have written it last weekend. As for me, you know that I like postponing everything until the last moment. So I'll try to finish the report on Saturday, and on Sunday I hope to have time for a short walk with my cousins. You know, I always enjoy spending time with them. Text C. Mary, I need your help. My cousins are coming to visit us. What's the problem, Jane? I thought they were to come on Monday. Actually, they were planning to arrive on Sunday, but in fact they are coming a day earlier. Are you free that day? So that's the help you need. Well, let's take them to the cinema. There's a nice comedy on. To tell the truth, they don't like comedies. A thriller would be much better. Okay, I know the place to go, and I can get the tickets. Great. And before the film, we can go to the new cafe nearby. Text D. Susan, what about your plans for summer holidays? Well, and I'm looking for a summer job for July. What kind of a job? By the way, my dad needs another assistant in his shop. There's too much work for me to manage it. Does it mean working with you? Tell me more. Well, it's full-time, 5 days a week. For the first week, you'll get £4 per hour. Then £4.50, just like me. Is there a place to have a meal near the shop? Well, I prefer taking sandwiches from home. It's much cheaper. There's a nice park nearby, and I usually eat them there. Perhaps I should talk to your dad. I think I'll feel more comfortable if I work with anybody I know. Прослушайте аудио еще раз. Задание 5. Presenter. Good afternoon. Today we have asked 5 people to give us a short interview and share their opinion about the best way to go to school. Now we would like to present their opinions to you. Speaker A. I think this is a great way of going to school or to the shops. I use it all the time. This is a cheap way of traveling, as the ticket is not very expensive, and you can use it in cities or for longer distances. I've always traveled to school, and as far as I know, many of my classmates do the same. It's true that sometimes you have to wait a long time, but I don't mind that. And sometimes there are lots of people. It's a bit overcrowded, but I don't think that's a big problem. The most unpleasant thing is to get stuck in a traffic jam, because then you never know when you get to school. Speaker B. I like this method because it's a good way of keeping fit, and it's fast. I've been doing it for about a year now. I don't mean winter, of course. When the weather is bad, I sometimes take the bus, but I try not to. And most important, I don't care about traffic jams. I can go through the park and take the shortest way, so it's usually quicker. I carry my books in a basket on the front. The main problem is that I have to leave it at school, and sometimes I worry that someone might take it. It's not very nice when someone steals it, is it? Speak a sim. I usually go to school this way because I live a long way from school and it's a very difficult journey by bus. You have to change buses twice and it takes ages. I've tried cycling, but I feel very tired when I get to school. Besides, I can't do that in winter, so my dad usually takes me. We talk on the way or I check my homework. Going to school is fine, but I sometimes have problems coming home. I often have to wait for my dad, but it's still quicker than by bus. Speak a D. I think this way of traveling is fun. I don't live very far from school, so I can travel this way along the pavement. It's true, some people don't like this. They think it's dangerous and they say that pavements are for walking. Sometimes they shout at me. I don't agree with them, of course. I think this is a modern way of traveling short distances for kids. It's better than a bike too. When it rains or you feel tired, you can hang it over your shoulder and walk. Speaker E. This is the best kind of transport for such a big city. I'm lucky to live not far from the station. I just have to walk 5 minutes, and the moment I get in, I care neither about the weather nor about the traffic. Of course, it can be a bit overcrowded during rush hours, but still it's very comfortable. It's cool in hot weather and warm in cold. Прослушайте задание еще раз. Задание 6-11. Interviewer. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for your agreement to take part in our survey. We'd like to learn what teenagers think about keeping a pet in a big city. Respondent, no problem. I'm ready to answer all your questions. Pets are something I can speak about with pleasure. You see, we've got a dog and a cat in our family. Interviewer, so you're really the person who can help us. To start with, how old are you? Respondent, next month I will be 16, so speaking about now, I'm 15. Have you always lived in Moscow? Were you born here? In fact, I was born in the suburbs of Moscow, but when I was 8, my dad got a new job, and we managed to buy a flat in the city, though it's rather far from the center. I see you've mentioned a dog and a cat. I guess they are the most popular pets all over the world. Why do you think people keep them as pets? I think the most important thing is companionship, so there is always somebody nearby who will like you no matter what. As for dogs, they are the most sociable pets. Besides, they have lived with humans for centuries. The same is with cats, though they are a bit different, more independent, I mean. Speaking about your pets, whose choice was to take them? By the way, how old are they? They are both 6 now. We got them almost at the same time. First, a little puppy came to our country house and stayed with us. He was such a cute creature that it turned out to be our common decision. And a week later, my mother saw a little kitten in the street. The poor thing was looking for a home. They were lucky. Unfortunately, some parents are against any pets, especially stray animals. Why do you think? Well, when you take a dog, it means that you should walk with it, wash its paws after work, and do many other things. As for stray animals, parents are afraid that they can be sick. So you live in Moscow. Is it difficult to look after the dog? Who takes care of your pets? My mother takes responsibility for the cat and she feeds him. I sometimes like to brush him with a special comb. Actually, there are no problems with the cat. Do you mean there are problems with the dog? I think the main problem with a dog in any big city is to find a place to walk with your pet. There are very few special places to walk dogs. Fortunately, we don't live in the center and there is a big forest nearby and we walk there. My father and I take turns walking the dog. So you don't see any other problems of keeping pets in a big city, do you? Well, there is a problem of keeping your flat clean when you return from a walk in rainy weather, but one of the problems is in no way connected with city life. What do you mean? When your pets are puppies or kittens, they chew everything they can. Our dog managed to chew two pairs of my trainers and mom's favorite shoes. Yeah, such things happen. Well, nowadays, some people prefer keeping exotic animals as pets, snakes, monkeys, and so on. What do you think about it? I don't think it's a good idea. Exotic pets can bring even more problems. I see, and a few more questions. Прослушайте текст еще один раз.